You almost scrolled past this, didn't you? Something in you hesitated for a second, just enough to notice that this moment felt slightly different from the rest. Not louder, not dramatic, just intentional. And that pause matters because what you've been feeling lately when it comes to love, connection, and relationships is not confusion without reason. It is clarity trying to surface through emotional noise. You've been carrying a lot more than you show when it comes to your heart. On the outside, you maintain composure. You respond, you engage, you try to keep things balanced. But internally, there have been questions you don't always say out loud. Questions about whether you are being valued the way you deserve. Whether the effort you give is being returned with the same sincerity. Whether the connection you're holding on to is truly aligned or simply familiar. I see the moments where you replay conversations. The way you analyze tone, timing, and silence. The way you try to understand what someone meant versus what they said. That quiet overthinking doesn't come from weakness. It comes from emotional awareness. But when that awareness is placed in an unclear or inconsistent environment, it can turn into self-doubt. Listen carefully. Not every connection that feels intense is meant to last. And not every relationship that lasts is meant to remain the same. There's been a dynamic in your life, whether current or recent, that has felt slightly unbalanced. Not dramatically toxic, not obviously wrong, but something about it has required more of you than it has naturally returned. More understanding, more patience, more emotional effort to keep things stable. And slowly, that imbalance has been draining you. You may have told yourself that this is just how relationships are, that compromise is necessary, that people go through phases. And all of that is true to a degree. But there is a difference between healthy compromise and silent depletion. Pause for a moment. Think about how you feel after interacting with this person. Not just during the good moments, but afterward. Do you feel grounded? Or do you feel slightly unsettled? Do you feel secure? Or do you find yourself questioning where you stand? Your answer matters, because your emotional state after connection reveals more truth than the connection itself. You have been trying to maintain peace, sometimes at the cost of your own clarity. You have held back certain thoughts to avoid conflict. You have adjusted your expectations to keep things functioning. You have given the benefit of the doubt repeatedly, hoping that consistency would eventually match your effort. But something is shifting now. You're starting to feel less willing to ignore what doesn't sit right. Less willing to explain away inconsistency. Less willing to accept partial effort when you know what full presence feels like. That shift is not you becoming distant. It is you becoming aligned. There is a quiet realization forming inside you that love should not feel like constant uncertainty. Connection should not feel like something you have to decode every day. Respect should not feel conditional. And once that realization becomes clear, everything changes, because you begin to choose differently. Listen closely now. This is the turning point. The dynamic that once held your attention is losing its emotional control over you. Not because the other person changed dramatically, but because your perception is changing. You are seeing patterns more clearly. You are recognizing where effort is genuine and where it is inconsistent. And that awareness gives you power. You no longer need to chase clarity. You can create it. There may be a moment coming soon where you feel the urge to step back, to observe instead of engage, to respond with calm instead of emotional intensity, to allow space instead of filling it with explanations. That moment is important because distance reveals truth. When you stop overextending your energy, you begin to see how the other person responds without your constant effort holding things together. You begin to see whether they step forward or remain where they are. And that response will give you the clarity you've been seeking. Not through confrontation, through observation. You're not being asked to cut people off impulsively. You're being asked to see clearly before you decide how to move forward. Because not every connection needs to end. Some need to evolve. Some need boundaries, and some need to be released. But you cannot make that decision from a place of confusion. You must make it from clarity, and clarity is forming right now. There's also something deeper happening within you. Your standards are rising, not out of ego, out of self-respect. You're beginning to understand that your time, your attention, your emotional investment, these are valuable, and they should not be given freely to situations that do not nurture your growth. This realization may feel uncomfortable at first because it requires change. It may require you to communicate differently, to hold boundaries where you once stayed silent, to walk away from patterns that once felt familiar. But this discomfort is temporary. Alignment is permanent. And as you move through this shift, something else will begin to happen. You will start attracting connections that feel different, more stable, more clear, more mutual. Conversations will feel easier. Effort will feel balanced. You will not have to question where you stand, because consistency will answer that for you. This is what real alignment in relationships feels like. Not perfection, but peace. And you deserve that. You deserve connection that does not require constant emotional negotiation. You deserve respect that is not dependent on your silence. You deserve presence that does not disappear when it matters most. And as you fully step into that understanding, the right people will meet you there. Those who cannot match your clarity will naturally fall out of alignment. Not because you push them away, but because you stopped lowering yourself to maintain the connection. Take a breath. You are not losing love. You are refining it. You are not becoming distant. You are becoming clear. And that clarity is what will guide you toward relationships that truly support who you are becoming. Trust what you feel. Trust what you notice. Trust the shift happening within you, because it is leading you toward connection that feels stable, mutual, and real. If this message resonates with you and you feel that clarity settling in your heart, write 555 in the comments as a declaration that you are choosing alignment, respect, and genuine connection moving forward.